Please welcome to the stage Frank Eliason, Senior Vice President of Social Media, Citicorp.
How you guys doing? Oh, come on. Let's move it. Let's wake it up. I know it's Monday, but I just came from Starbucks. Come on. It does show, doesn't it? So anyway, let's have a little bit of fun. We have some great people with us today, and I really look forward to it. The chat we're going to have is going to be about this customer service and marketing. Where's this all fit? And in some ways, it's the chicken before the egg. Where'd it come from? And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how this fits in the social world. You don't even think it may fit in there, but look at all the great things that have happened in social over the past year. You know, Progressive Insurance was a great example in social and how that went about, right? These things that are going viral are on that side, customer service, right? It's part of our rules, that customer experience. On the positive side, the Panera Bread story, where the woman went into a Panera Bread because her mother was dying, her grandmother was dying, and she wanted to get clam chowder because it was her favorite soup while she was in the hospital. And you know, they gave that. The woman thanked them by doing a Facebook post. It went viral. You know, this is the world in which we're in. Customer service, where companies, let's face facts, have made it the bottom rung of things, has become extraordinarily important to our customers, and that's what people are talking about. So I'm going to ask you to welcome Wendy Lee from Get Satisfaction, CEO of Get Satisfaction. I've known Wendy for a long time, and tremendous person to have around. And you know, next we're going to have Vala Afshar. Now, his role just changed, and this is what makes it really interesting. Chief Customer Officer for, I forgot the name of the company, Enterasys. I knew I was going to mess that up because we were talking about it beforehand. But he's also now the CMO. So he was Chief Customer Officer. I've usually seen the other thing happen where someone was a CMO and became a Chief Customer Officer. Now we've gone the other direction. So congratulations and welcome. So Wendy, you know, let's start with you. Get Satisfaction has been around for a number of years. You've been with them 42 months, I believe it is, that you just said?
You don't have to be that specific.
Yeah, you know. We've watched it during that time. The world's changed a bit. Mm-hmm. From your perspective, from a startup to now an established business, you know, what have you noticed from your customers?
We have 70,000, so we've learned a lot with 70,000 customers. A couple of things. What we've noticed is that customers of all sizes want to connect with their customers, their consumers, at all stages of the life cycle. So where in the beginning, as you well know, it was more around, for us, more around service and support, we've loved being able to expand our reach and actually help companies connect early when a customer is discovering and trying to learn more about a product or service, all the way through to post-purchase and advocacy so they can tell others. So social truly, I think, has extended to all the touch points, just like Thomas Marzano talked about from Philips. That customer experience journey, that's exactly how we see online community playing a strategic role in a business.
Great. Now, your role's changed. And you know, as your role has shifted and you've taken on this broader responsibility, how are you thinking differently? Are you at all?
No, I think you know, we're a company that has been going through a social business transformation for a number of years. Today, you've heard a lot about social media. Social media is just a tool. Social business transformation is about culture, it's about people, it's about purpose, and then lastly, technology. Our customers in terms of service and support, they don't really care about your social media strategy. They just want their problems resolved quickly. That's it.
Is there a social media strategy?
You know, it takes courage. It takes meaningful purpose. We're in a knowledge-sharing economy. So for you to build influence and bolster your brand, you have to empower your employees. That's the only way. So, you know...
but that's a business strategy, not a social strategy.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think that delivering on our promises is what has been our purpose in terms of customer service and support, and I'm looking to bring that into our marketing strategy as well.
Now, besides being CEO of Get Satisfaction,
Yes.
you're a person like the rest of us. We like to think that, but it's a secret.
I feel like you, Frank, right now, like you.
What is it like, how do you go about interacting with brands in social media?
Well, as a professional, as a person, I mean, I am a contributor. I'm an active sharer and an active receiver of content. And so, I like, in many cases, I'll like the brand page. I do that on certain brands. I pay attention to what my friends say about certain brands. But at the end of the day, when I am, as an individual consumer, customer, deciding to purchase, I will go to that brand's website because I feel while I'm there, I want to find other people like me so I can connect with them even before I connect with the mothership. So I think at this stage, we're all comfortable with that. I mean, I know the three of us talk a lot online, DMing back and forth. And I do think when I'm going to make a decision to acquire something, it could be a business-to-business service or a personal service, I want to know that others have too, and I want to see them there. That doesn't mean we have to be buddies or be best friends, but I want to know what they've said about that. So this is, I think, an important second stage of social that we as executives, be it in large companies like yours or in Get Satisfaction, an aspiring growing company, I think we need to pay attention to that pattern because there's a there that's shifting that we have a responsibility towards.
Now, how do you go about using social media when you're buying a product? How do you do it personally?
That's a great question. Mostly I'm engaged with Twitter. So I will look at their Twitter page. I will look at their communities on the website.
To look at the brand's Twitter page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely. We're in a B2B space, selling enterprise class networking hardware solutions. And certainly I had zero social presence last year. Zero. And
now you just got an award, didn't you? As the #1 guy at the conference?
Very active the last couple of months. My CIO actually created a Twitter account for me without asking me. But we were using Salesforce.com internally. We were early adopters since early 2010. And they have a social technology tool called Chatter. So internal to our business, I was collaborating quite a bit. And he asked me to share some of my thoughts outside of our company. And I can tell you in the past year, I've had deeper, more insightful relationships with CIOs than my 17-year career, professional career.
Says a lot.
To me, this is what social media is really about as I've looked at it over the years. I watch all these companies trying to replicate what other companies have done. My days at Comcast and trying to replicate that from a service perspective, or what Starbucks has done out there and try and replicate what they did, or H&R Block or Dell. And as I think through all these things, I think there's a big difference that they missed back then. Back in the day, we knew it was Brad Nelson at Starbucks. We knew it was Amy Worrell at H&R Block. We knew the people behind the brands, and I think that's one of the key components that's been missing. Right. I have a view of what's going to be next in social or where we're headed towards. I think we've gotten through the sexy marketing phase, and now we're in that phase of it's content, content, content. But I think we're heading somewhere. And so, before I even give my view, where do you think we're headed? Well,
now see, I love this conversation because in the very beginning at Get Satisfaction, as you know, because you were a friend of the company at Comcast, it was always about people. Remember, it wasn't really about the business application of Get Satisfaction. And we have done our best as an executive team to hold true to that. Because in my view, I remember even one of our founders saying, why would you use the word social? This is about people. So people talking to people, people getting help from each other, people asking questions of each other, people building on each other's ideas about a product or service, again, in the frame of a product or service or a brand. So here's what I think we in the audience, and again, this is my 3rd year at PivotCon, and I've watched it grow and develop. And I think there's a lot that we need to pay attention to relative to where we are with social, starting with this people-to-people element. And then let's think about this. The investments that companies, small, large, everything in between, have made in Facebook needs to be looked at. We've tricked out our fan pages. We've used the right kind of social marketing platform, because there are many. We love Buddy Media, Vidru, Involver, Wildfire, all of them. So we've done that. We've built up an audience. Yay. Good. And then over here inside service and support with Salesforce or what other assets, we've done our internal chatter. My concern is, what now? After building up an audience and having all this creativity going this way in internal systems, what's in the middle? And I really think that there's a strategic role for an online community that brings all this, what I would call fleeting social interaction, home, so true benefit can be brought to people as well as to company relative to the actionable insights that we hear everyone talking about. That's our point of view.
Well, I look around and I'm watching, things change. Your roles changed, and you added the CMO role. And as I look around, one of the things that fascinates me, and I actually judge what's going on by a few things. I watch people in my own feed and what they're doing. I watch the early adopters in social media, what they're doing. Also, what are my family and friends doing? And what I'm noticing in a lot of these things is, they're using social a little differently. They're unfriending people. They're unfriending businesses. Why? They're cleaning up their news feed. They're making it more of what's important to them. And so it's making it harder and harder for companies to even have a piece of that puzzle, because our time's valuable, and I don't want them in my feed as well. So this is changing the game. But I also see other things that are changing the game, such as what's going on with our workforce. From your perspective, you have a diverse workforce. What are you seeing changing within your own business environment, and how is that translated into social?
Our largest vertical is education, K-12, college, universities, hyper-connected customers, students, faculty, administration. So social and mobile is not about technology, it's about a lifestyle. And as you know, in terms of service and support, highly transactional business, there's a lot of KPIs and balanced performance scorecards and so on and so forth. There's a science of managing and reaching your full potential in service and support. I'm excited because gaming concepts, gamification concepts, big data, using Radian 6 technology, for example, lead nurturing and marketing automation with Marketo, Bunchball. There's a science, I believe, to the marketing side of the business. And I know I said culture, people, process, and technology, but we have an 80 net promoter score in our customer service, and it's a lot to do with leveraging technology. I'm really excited about bringing some of that into our marketing function.
But because I respect that, because I come from that world and I was there a long time. Here's my concern, and we're right in the middle of it, right? My concern is this very personal interaction that we are all desperate for, because I think we really are.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we want to be connected to each other, and we want our problems and interactions to be personal. And it just so happens now that this persona, this personality is exposed to the rest of the world. My concern is that, and again, if too many assets and tools and software providers, if we come over into the forest where all the animals are like enjoying themselves, interacting, like we're going to go away.
Sure.
And I want us to be sensitive, again, as professionals and adults, to realize that this is a new way of interacting, and I don't want it to be just another channel. Even as much as I want Get Satisfaction to grow and do the strategic stuff we're supposed to do with Salesforce and with Facebook, do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because when I look at my workers, and I'm so proud to have, the 75 folks that we have working for us, I don't know if they want to be engaged. I don't know if they want to be engaged. I just think they want to be inspired and informed and be part of something. And then I think about, and we use Chatter. We're all over Chatter. So, I mean, how many chat posts do they want from me at 1 o'clock? I mean, it's just, so I'm a little nervous. Ask my employees, they'll tell you. I drive them crazy.
As I look around, I see a lot of, oh, you must do this, or you must do this in social. And it drives me insane because, for some companies, maybe having a Facebook page is meaningless. I don't necessarily think you have to go do anything. Do you have to have a social business? Some businesses, yes. Some businesses, no. And the key that I would always tell people is you really need to know your business, you need to know your customer, but at the end of the day, you have to make the decisions as to what's right for your brand across the board. And I think that's the imperative aspect to things. And I think every brand's going to be very, very different. But I do look around, I see the millennial generation who is very much about this, they want to know what other people think. What's your opinion of this? Managers look at them and say, oh, that guy's a pain in the ass. He's just causing problems. But really what they're trying to do is get more information. I want to know why you think this way. I want to know why you think this way so I can make the best decision, so I can learn. So I think the millennial generation's interesting. Do I think it requires social media? Maybe not. But these are the things I think we need to think about. But I also think as I look through, and I think we have to get to the real question at hand, should customer service be part of marketing? My personal view, I'll save my personal view. I have a view that everybody will have.
Go on and spill the beans.
Well, my view is, first of all, marketing has historically been relationships, right? And it's always been about relationships. Customer service is really also about relationships. My view is customer service has been the weakest side in our businesses, and I think that's been a problem. I think that's because of poor leadership. Leaders not speaking up. I think CMOs have done a fabulous job of saying how great they are at a company. I've yet to meet really good service leaders to say why they're important to the company. And that's their mistake. I think that's why service sits so low in the food chain. My view is, though, marketing is part of service, and I've said it for years, and it is all part of the customer experience. There's marketers who may not agree with me. What I would say is, most likely what I think you're going to find is CMOs who really can see where things are headed. They're going to drift more towards this chief customer officer. Why? They understand the power that the customer has. And they're also extremely smart. I sit in marketing now. I see how smart some of these people are. They get it, and I think they're going to be the ones that really take control of it. But my belief is it should have been the other way around.
I agree with you 100%. Companies need chief listening and learning officers. And thought leadership belongs in the field. No matter how big you are, no matter how successful you are, there are always more smarter people on the outside than on the inside of your company. So for companies to grow, and we've had 3 years of consecutive growth, and last quarter was our best quarter in 10 years. Right. And it's because there's nothing more important than our customers. And anyone you serve is a customer. So when I say there's nothing more important than our customers, that includes delighting your internal customers so that you can delight your external customers.
I was going to say, Wendy, like towards that end though, have companies really done a really good job of tying together their message versus the reality?
The reality of?
Their experience. So the message a lot of times for companies is, look how great we are. And then the reality of their experience seems to differ.
Well, I mean, it's on any given day, regardless of the size of the business. I think, it's easy to say be consistent, be integrated. I mean, all that's just jargon crap. I mean, it's very hard. I mean, maybe if you have 1,000 people to work for you and you can make this happen, it's very, very challenging. Here's what I think is true. I think social is a strategy to the degree we as business owners accept that customer relationships are part of this social thing. It's the core thing of social. So it's not social. I mean, social media is like sharing what you had for food, like for dinner, or sharing a song. That's sharing. That's media. That's consumer media. But social is a growth strategy. It's about customer relationships. We've heard a lot about that today. And I think what we're in is a new chapter of customer experience. I don't think it's social CRM. I'd like to shoot that right in the head.
Thank you.
That's an oxymoron.
That's a whole other conversation, but that will be tomorrow during the SAP
Please
lunch.
quote me on that, social CRM in the head. What I think is customer experience is what matters. And why does it matter more now than ever? It's because customers are saying and doing whatever they want online. That's it.
Well, thank you both. I hope everybody has a great time. You have the rest of the day today. I'll be here today and tomorrow. We're going to have fun. So enjoy it.
Thank you.